What's up, everybody? We are back with the Magic and Andrew MMA betting show. We've got episode 81, UFC Paris, a heavyweight bout taking place in the main event between Cyril Gane and Sergey Spivak. But before we get into that, as always, we're going to start from the bottom of the card and work our way up Tapology order. Once I pulled Tapology up, had to take the week off last week, survived a little hurricane over here and ready to get back after it. Magic, you've been on vacation. I know you're ready to hit the ground running. So take it away with the first fight of the night. Zara Farron versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti.
Yeah, this is an amazing fight. I mean, the only way Sarah Fine wins a fight in the UFC is if she happens to be gigantic next to her opponent, and she had that opportunity and she blew it. I mean, she sucks. Cavalcanti is not really a grappler and hasn't faced a lot of good opposition. But I mean, Sarah Fire just fucking sucks. I mean, I think an average man would look like Sugar Ray Leonard fighting this woman. Like someone from the crowd, not overweight, Sugar Ray Leonard. She's so bad. It's ridiculous. And she's such a horrendous grappler. So positionally unaware and everything. Like it's so bad. I mean I get it the first time, it can happen. You can get to the UFC and be raw or green or whatever, but it's been some fights now. What the fuck is she doing in the gym? I mean, doesn't she have trainers or I'm talking basic things. I mean, no disrespect, but what the fuck is going on? So yeah, Cavalcanti should win. Probably lifts her up. If she gets on top, I mean, as I said, she's not primarily a grappler, but I mean, you don't need to be a grappler to look like Gordon Ryan against Fire. If you happen to land on top of her, it's over. It's never been more over than it is now. If you get on top of her, like, it's an automatic win. I mean, I think the best base we get here is the Jindrova fight, who is a very capable striker in my opinion. I know she got kicked in the head by the crackhead in PFL or whatever, but she's a decent striker and she looked good in that fight. That was a good fight. I think she's going to win, probably stops her.
Yeah, I'm with you here. Farron, proven time and time again, she's not UFC caliber. Cavalcanti only has 6 pro fights, but I think she has a future in the UFC. Like you said, she lost a split to Jinrova, but she's ripped off 3 wins since then. If she was more reliable to grapple, I think laying the money here is probably not the worst idea. But I mean, even in a striking fight, like she's the better striker. I mean, Farron just big. She's an okay kickboxer, but yeah, I think Cavalcanti should be fine here.
I mean, she's like, what now? Minus 400 already, okay. If she
Yeah.
happens to think about a takedown, she's minus 1,000. I
If
think
it
it's
even
it's good
does.
good upside. Like Ugabe said, the Ugabe special. Good, she has good floor and high sailing.
Rodriguez versus Basharat. Rodriguez coming up to 135 here. Fought his first few fights in the UFC at 125, had some mixed results. Got a win against Santo Curatolo on the Contender Series. He's went 1-1 since then. Up at 135 here, taking on Basharat, who is undefeated. He won on Contenders last year, got a solid win over Damon Blackshear in his first UFC fight. I think that Basharat should be solid here. I don't think Rodriguez's game is going to work as well up at 125. I think he kind of had the power to bully some people at 125, but I think Basharat, good grappler, reliable to put up a lot of volume, good cardio. I think the price is justified here. What about you?
Yeah, Basharat is a really good fighter. She disappointed me big time against Blackshear, but I think it was more of me underestimating Blackshear at that point than Basharat being bad. Like Blackshear has looked much better than he did in the regionals in the UFC. Like he has upgraded big time, in my opinion. He was kind of a mean back taker or whatever, and now he's a solid fighter and has solid volume. That was a good fight. This Basharat is a good fighter. I know some people may think I'm reaching, but I think he may be the best of the two brothers, and the other one is really good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're both pretty like solid upper mid-tier fighters. Like I don't think either of them are gonna make a run for the belt, but I think they're guys that could crack the top 15. I mean, anyone who is well-rounded enough that's they're like reliable to put up cardio, to put up volume. They're good grapplers. I mean, Damon Blackshear is a solid win, especially in your first UFC fight. I mean, he's only 26. He's probably going to improve a little bit more. He got some meaningful experience, like a 15-minute fight with Blackshear, who I think is a solid mid-tier guy in the division. Yeah, I mean, I think he could push for the top 15 at some point. I think they both can. I think the other one's solid too. I was probably a little bit lower on him than most, but I'm kind of starting to come around to them. I think they're eventually, in a similar fashion, going to hit a wall once they face that top tier, that upper tier. But I mean, this isn't it here, and obviously Blackshear wasn't that high upper tier either. But yeah, I think this is a fight that he should win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a good fighter. I think he's going to go places. Javid is more of a striker, he's more of a grappler, but I think this guy is solid. I think he's going to cover a lot of prizes. And Clayton, I mean, he's a good athlete, obviously on all the juice now at Oliveira camp. I don't really think he's moving up in the sense that he has missed badly. Like, he was always a bantamweight trying to make 125. But he's not going to be so big here. He's always liked to have, I don't know, the kick of the year or some Jackie Chan moment, but if you can survive his first flurries and kind of put a pace on him, he kind of flakes. You know what I mean? Did I make up a word? Flake?
No.
He flakes. He breaks down. I don't know. I mean, if CJ Vergara is getting on top of you, that's not a good sign, my brother.
Next up, we've got Nora Cornell making her UFC debut against Jocelyn Edwards. I'm picking Edwards here. I think she's fought a much better level of competition. I think she's the bigger fighter, better striker. Cornell, not really like a proactive grappler. I'm a little bit concerned about Edwards' bottom game, but like I said, she's going to be the bigger fighter. She's missed weight in her last two fights. She has a win over Jeon Kim, which I think is solid. I think her last fight against Pudilova was a robbery, but still relatively competitive. I'm picking Edwards here. It's definitely not like a play of the year type spot. And obviously Cornell, having only made her pro debut 2 years ago, could have made tremendous improvements. But yeah, she's beating people off the street. Her last fight, the girl just got injured kind of in the first round. Her win before that was over a 0-0 fighter. So I think at a pick 'em or near pick 'em, the side has to be Edwards, but I get it if you're just totally scared of her bottom game. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I feel like I'm super late in the card in the sense that I have not looked at a lot of prices. I like doesn't go here. As I said on Twitter, I have no bets. I have one bet that I didn't track. I got a much better price than market, and the line is moving in my favor. I'm going to track it right now, but full disclosure, I'm going to track a much worse price than I got. Not much worse, but like 20 cents. And I haven't bet anything else yet. Doesn't go is plus money here. I think that, I mean, Jocelyn Edwards, I haven't recovered from losing Pudilova in that fight. That cost me a lot, and that was a robbery, but I think this is going to be one of these women's MMA fights where both have finishing upside and the level is really not that high, but the pace and the volume is going to be there. You know what I mean? Like kind of a shit fest. And this girl, Nora Cornole, I mean, I watched some tape. She's kind of a finisher, but at the same time, you know what I mean, right? The classic can crusher that suddenly stops crashing cans. I don't know. She may get Edwards, but I think someone's going to get stopped. But I'm not super confident in either side. Edwards is huge too.
Yeah. Do you think she'll make weight this time?
What? The weight?
Do you think she'll make weight?
This is 135 or 145? 145, right?
135.
This is 135? I thought it was 145 because this other girl has fought some big people, or am I mistaken? No, I don't think she's making 135, especially traveling to Europe. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe she has. I'm talking out of my ass. Maybe she has been living in Paris for 4 weeks or something, cutting weight. But I think, if I had to bet money, I would tell she's going to miss.
Isn't she from there? No.
Jocelyn Edwards?
No, she's not. Never mind.
I mean, not every black person is from France, Andrew. We are getting there, but We'll be there soon, but not yet.
Oh my god, that's funny as hell. Next up,
She's Dominican or something, right? Or
it
Puerto
says she's
Rican. Son?
born in Panama. But the reason I thought that is because the flag is red, blue, and white, kind of like
So close. France and Panama.
Anyway, Reese McKee versus Angelusa. What do you got here? Neither of them are French. Angelusa is not
Yeah,
French.
this is a fucking random fight. When I looked at this, I was like, how does the UFC book this? They are not the same species. I mean, look at these two people. They cannot be the same species. I don't know. This is like Rizmaki pushes a pace. He can finish people. He's good while being horrible. You know what I mean? He's long, he's tall, he's big, he pushes a pace, has power. He's not as bad as people think because he just got mauled by Kamsat. He has fought some good fights. He has beat some good people. His win against Adam Burlinson is a good win, in my opinion. But Lusa, if he lets go, he's going to land at will. Does he have the gas tank to really push a pace if he doesn't finish Maki because Maki is going to come for him? I'm not sure. Good fight. I like Dasengo too. I actually looked at at this price. It was minus 118 when I looked. It's minus 110 now, moving in my favor. Oh, what an expert pass at that moment.
You know what you haven't said in a while? What I always like when you say, "How does this one go 3?" I've been waiting for you to say that. You haven't said it in like a month.
I have never said that in my life.
You say that all the time. You say, "How does this one go 3?" Or "How does this one go 5?"
This goes 3 by Lusa knocking down Riz Maki twice. Then Maki kind of wobbles him. They start a meme war. 400 punches thrown. 29-28 Maki. Split decision. I don't know. This is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it is going to be a banger. Eileen doesn't go also. I'm picking McKee. It's a dangerous game because I do think he's very hittable. I think Lusa could potentially mix in takedowns, but I think he could also gas if he starts to wrestle. Obviously, McKee hittable, but he's big, he's long, good striker. He's a good jab. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a banger. I'm picking McKee. I think he's a little
I
bit.
leave Maki too. I think
Yeah.
it's beside that dog money. Plus 145 is a good entry on Maki, I think, pre-fight. But there may be a very good life entry because he's going to get bonked early at some point, I tend to believe.
Yeah, I agree with, again, everything you're saying. I think Lusa does have that wrestling upside, but he also is at a cardio disadvantage, in my opinion. So I think if he does wrestle, McKee could come on late. Either guy could crack the other. I think this has banger potential for sure, but I'm picking McKee. Next up, Callahan Loughran versus Taylor Lapilus. Lapilus on his second stint in the UFC. Loughran 8-0, Cage Warriors guy. Lapilus, very good kickboxer. He's fought the much better competition. Loughran has some wrestling upside. He looks very strong. I'm picking Lapilus. I think he probably has the grappling chops to sprawl and or get back up. And on the feet, he's a much more polished guy. Not a super confident pick, and I'm very wary about betting chalk on guys that are facing someone that has wrestling upside. So I'm picking Lapilus, but it's a pass for me. I think you like the dog here, right?
I mean, you asked me. I think it's
I
dog
did
or
ask
pass.
you.
It's dog or pass, I think. I mean, Taylor Lapilus, it's minus 170. I could never lay minus 170 on someone that lost to Eric Goyito Perez.
To who?
I don't care if don't you know Eric Goyito Perez? Eric Perez? Goyito?
Oh
That's his
yeah,
nickname.
I do.
Uh,
That was back in the day though. He was
I
only
mean,
like,
if Lapilus was fighting a grandma here, I wouldn't still bet him. He lost to Eric Goyito Perez. Minus 170 becomes unplayable after that. Forever.
you know, it was crazy. I thought that price on Gaffarov against him was very
Yeah, I
generous.
was going to play Gafurov and not
Me
small.
too.
I mean, I thought that was an insane line.
Me too.
That got away. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't like what the UFC did here, changing the matchups. Like Kaolan Lugran was going to run over this Gemori guy, get his back and stomp him, and I was going to cash inside at plus 120 or something. That was free. This why did they do this? He's a good prospect, and this is a hard fight for a debut. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's overpass. Kaolan obviously needs this on the floor. He has a lot of retarded strength and juice. He's ridiculously strong for the division. Great back taker. Lapilus is a good fighter. It's going to be a good one. The winner probably looks big favorite in hindsight, but it may not be the truth. You know what I mean? It's one of these fights that you may need to see 10 times to really be sure.
Yeah, fair enough. What are your thoughts on Morgan Charrier versus Manolo Zucchini? I mean, we got to root for the Italian guy here, right?
Manolo Zucchini, bro. He's going to die. But he will die a hero. He goes forward. This is going to be a banger. I mean, this guy is onto something. I'm not wearing anything, but my lips are like. How do you tell in English when there is cold and your lips get? You know what I mean?
Chapped.
I don't know, like hurt.
Chapped.
And they, yeah, like I was in a winter storm.
Yes.
In the mean mountains of deep Spain, that happened. What was the fight? Oh yeah. I mean, Charrier is a good fighter. The reason he has not been in the UFC before is back in the day he almost always fought to his level of opposition. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter. He has a lot of things. He's very good in general. He has a lot of things. He has power. He's durable. When he puts it on, he's a good fighter. He's been looking much aggressive lately, much more aggressive, much better. Now we are here. I mean, it's kind of a circumstantial signing, I think, because it's UFC Paris. He didn't beat someone good lately or anything, but he should have been here before. And he lost close fights to the tattoo guy. Yeah, Jordan Vucenic, the epidemic Vucenic. And this other kid who is really, really good. I hope he's in the UFC soon because I really like him. That guy is very, very good. What's his name? Yeah, Paul Hughes. Big fan of Paul Hughes. That guy's the truth. So yeah, Charrier is a good fighter, and this Manolo Zucchini guy has some power and is going to come forward and probably get stomped. But will be a fun fight, I think, while it lasts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Morgan's going to get it done also, but Zucchini does come forward, could potentially land. I think Morgan could take him down probably also. So I think he's the rightful favorite, but not super strong opinions.
No, I'm scared I'm going to bet Charrier to finish and he's going to do something really pathetic and win a lethargic decision or something. I don't know. It's in Paris. I hope he goes for the finish. He's kind of a star in France, you know? Charrier. I think he has like
Benjamini, right?
Yeah.
Benjamini, yeah.
But Vendramini wasn't that bad. I think he was kind of unlucky in his UFC run.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I think Charrier is going for the finish here. He has a clothing brand and everything. He's like a rapper in France. He's like famous.
What? I didn't know that.
Does he have more? I would really like if he had more followers than Ian Garry on Instagram. Can someone check it? Has to be close.
Giannis Gamori taking on William Gomez. William just took out your boy in his last fight.
The fucking road robber Gomez. Yeah. That was such a bad decision. That was.
What do you think about his matchup here? Do you think he keeps the winning streak going, or?
Money has come in on this Gamori guy. That sucks because I was going to play him at plus 200. Betting is so tough. At plus 200, I think this guy was the side. He's going to come forward and force a fight, but Gomez has some grappling upside, can get takedowns like he did against Jarno Errens. It's probably going to be a pass now. I mean, if I can get plus 210, plus 215, I would probably play Gamori a little bit. Plus 170, I think it's going to be a pass. I would really like to play Gamori. I want Gomez to lose. I want to cash against Gomez. But yeah, plus 170 is not very enticing to me. Probably a pass.
Yeah, I think pass also. I'm picking Gomez. Just based on the wrestling upside. If it's a striking fight, the line's definitely off. I think it's close on the feet, but I do think Gomi's going to be able to get on top, probably win a decision. Yeah, he's had an interesting run in the UFC. He had a majority decision win over Aarons, who I don't think is UFC caliber. He had a fight with Francis Marshall where I think he missed weight.
He lost.
And just nothing.
I mean, he fucking lost. He just went running for 3 rounds and then won a decision. And the third round was like borderline 10-8, and he got I don't know how he didn't got choked out there. Like, that was ridiculous. That was it.
That was like one of the most boring fights ever, I feel like.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I lost a lot of money on that bullshit. Like, it was fucking disgusting.
Next up, this one definitely don't think it'll be boring. Bogdan Guskov making his UFC debut against former title challenger Volkan Ozdemir. I'm picking Ozdemir here. I think just the more proven commodity, fought much better people. Bogdan kind of been just knocking people out in 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I like the early under. I think this fight's going to end early. I tend to think it's Ozdemir getting a knockout, but either one of these guys could land. Bogdan clearly has some power. I think Volkan more polished as far as technique goes. So yeah, I think Volkan early knockout is my prediction. What about you?
I agree with this guy. Let's talk about this for 5 minutes. What was going on with the commentary and everything? Like, that shit was rigged or something.
Bro, I had
Bogle inside. Like, the decision was irrelevant to me. I thought it was very clear Bogle 2 and 3. Like, I'm not saying this because I bet him by finish. I don't give a fuck. If he wins a decision, it doesn't make my finish bet look better or anything. Which people tend to think on Twitter, I think, because they say that all the time. Oh, you score for the fighter, you bet. If I bet a finish, I don't give a fuck. I thought it was very clear. I mean, don't you think like that Bogle 30-27 is better than Kuamba 29-28?
I had the sound off. I wasn't checking Twitter.
He was working him down real bad end of round 1. I don't know.
Yeah, it was mine. I had the live lineup, and I forgot his name already. Mateo was a favorite going into round 3, and then he dominated round 3, and I was not even worried going into the decision. So I bet on him.
Minus 300 or something like that. Minus 270, minus 300 range. I couldn't bet, but I was monitoring because I thought it was about to be funny. I was thinking if they give this Kuamba guy a contract, this is 100% rigged.
Did they?
But they didn't.
They didn't? Okay. Yeah, I thought one could have went either way, and I thought round 2 was pretty clear, and round 3 obviously was clear. But anyway, what do you think about Ozdemir versus Guskov?
Yeah, he's fighting Azok the Profanator.
What?
How do you say profanador in English? Bro, he's fighting this guy from the Hobbit movie. I mean, Andrew, the Profaner. Okay. Azok the Profaner. Andrew, as you know, has never watched a fucking movie in his life. Do you know The Lord of the Rings, which you have not watched?
I know of it. I've never seen
some other movies. Same universe or whatever. The Hobbit. Okay, so there is this very evil orc that wants to kill the Hobbit. his name is Azok the Profaner. I don't know how to say this. Bro, this guy looks exactly the same as that fictional character. You need to Google it. I have heard this guy, Azok the Profaner, is on a lot of use, and he looks like it. He punches stupid hard by the looks of it, but he also sucks at fighting, so this is going to be a banger. I also think that Azok the Profaner by submission is a gigantic prize because Ozdemir is a 0 on the ground, and if he gets rocked, the Deathman rear naked choke is probably going to be there. And this guy is, I mean, he's not that useless on the ground. Let's put it like that. He gets on top, has some vicious ground and pound. He's capable of rolling an arm triangle or the Deathman rear naked choke. That's a prize that interests me. I'm not sure what to do with this fight. I get why you are picking Ozdemir, but I tend to think Azok the Profaner is the side. Bogdan.
I didn't bet it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. That it's going to go 2 minutes, most likely.
Yeah, I hope so. My only bet of the card is the under 1.5 at early price. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember you told me, and I told you, yeah, Guskov by decision is now a lock.
Yeah.
I think it goes under most likely, but I wouldn't be shocked if Ozdemir tries to play it safe or play it cool a little bit. You know what I mean?
I don't think what do you call him? Guskov. I don't think he'll allow that.
Athog, the profaner.
Yeah, I don't think he will allow that.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I don't know. Ozdemir has always been an awkward fighter. Like one of the bets I regret the most ever is Ozdemir against DC. How the fuck did I bet that?
You've matured a lot since then.
I mean, it wasn't that bad in the sense of how much I lost. It was what was he plus 300 or plus 400? I probably bet he's inside or something, but like 1 minute into the fight, I was like, "Am I fucking retarded?"
This
That was
can't be
bad.
right. This just can't be right.
Yeah, sure.
Track that.
I mean, that cannot even be a reverse line. That just makes no sense. I thought the defiler. I thought it was profaner. Defiler. I'm learning English on the go. Defiler doesn't exist. Yeah, whatever. Next.
The people's main event: Benoit Saint Denis versus Thiago Moises. I'll start this one off. I'm picking Moises to win here. I know it's not going to be a popular pick on this show, but look, I bet Saint Denis plus 265 in his last fight. This is a massive correction here. Obviously, Saint Denis. Let me finish first. He's tenacious.
Boo! He's right. Boo this man. Boo!
It's takedowns. I gotta figure out how to mute you. But yeah, look, ready? There you go. Talk.
Boo!
That's funny as hell.
I can mute myself.
I didn't realize that. But yeah, I mean, it's a close fight. I do think Moises is gonna win, though. He's fought much better competition. Sandini's very liable to get hit, very liable to get choked. Moises is just a better technical fighter. Obviously, Sandini's very tenacious. He grinds, but he also puts himself in a lot of danger, and I just can't get behind him laying that kind of price, just given the fact that he's going to be in danger. Obviously, Moises has been taken down 11 times in his career, but in his UFC career, but 7 of those were against Makhachev or Dariush. In the Dariush fight, he was like very young, and he just jumped guillotine every 2 seconds. It's like he was like early 20s when that fight happened. But yeah, I mean, it's a good fight. Neither result would surprise me here. It'd be very impressive if Sandiniz can get this win. But I mean, outside of the Bonfim fight, which he kind of just spammed body kicks, got on top and finished. He's beaten Gabriel Miranda in a fight where he got taken down. And just one more thing too on the Moises side. I think if Moises gets on top, he's more dangerous than if Bonfim gets on top. Just better jiu-jitsu player. Yeah, I don't hold the Zaleski loss against him too much. That was up a weight class. It was a couple of years ago. So I think it's a good fight. I'm picking Moises. It's not my most confident opinion ever, but I do think he gets the job done. Obviously, we know what you think, but tell us why.
Yeah, this is a very autistic pick by you, Andrew. I wasn't expecting this.
You can't say that.
I mean, how is this a market overcorrection? I told you.
I didn't say it was a market overcorrection. I just said it was a big correction.
Big correction? Okay. How? Because Sandeni was plus 275 against Bonfim. I max bet him, as you know. He looked minus 300.
That was a great call.
Or better. I mean, Bonfim really didn't have nothing. It was amazing to watch with a lot of money on it, not gonna lie. I enjoyed that. How is this a correction? Like, I don't get it. I thought Saint-Denis was going to be a bigger favorite. And I was surprised to see that he at some point he was on the openers or something. He was minus 125 or even plus money at some point, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
I don't know.
we have had a bad August, as everyone knows, both of us. But Andrew had it worse. Like he cannot win a fucking bet. So I hope it extends into this fight. I'm glad you picked Moises. No, like honestly, I think Sandeni Moises is a very good. I really like Moises, as you know. I have bet him a lot. I only bet Alvarez against him, I think, and Makhachev by submission, something like that. He is a very good grappler, but at the same time, he can get grappled. He's small for the division. Sandeni is gigantic. His pace edge here is probably abysmal. Like Moises slows down. Sandeni on the feet. I mean, I'm not really sure what Moises is going to do to stop the never-ending liver kick. The newest, biggest technique in MMA. Just 15 straight kicks to the liver. It's going to be the exact same scenario because Moises' punch is the overhand right. Same scenario as Bonfim. Is he going to shoot or? I think if Moises wins, he has to get him on a guillotine or something. Honestly, I think Sandeni is going to rank him over eventually. That concerns me, but Sandeni is fucking crazy, but he's not that crazy. When he fought Gabriel Miranda, I was a little bit concerned that he was going to get into some guillotine or something because the pace is ridiculous and Miranda has an insane guillotine. And that actually took place, like the situation for that to happen. And the guy was super aware to keep his hips back and everything to prevent the guillotine. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think Sandeni is going to just fucking rank him over. Pace, grappling, striking, everything. I mean, you have to kill this man, Andrew. This guy is going to win the belt. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. I told you a long time ago, this guy may just fuck around and win the belt. I told you before Moises, before everything. Everybody's like, no, a French can't be good at MMA, and he's also white.
That's true. Also, that is a very good point.
This guy, like, who's going to beat this guy, Makhachev?
Moises.
But Moises is not beating this guy. Like, definitely not beating this guy.
Makhachev, Sarukian.
Bro, this guy beats the living shit out of Charukian in a 5-round fight.
No.
Yeah, like, I'm dead sure about this, Andrew. Charukian and Gamrot are, like, drawing dead against this guy. Oh, horrible matchup. Give me Gamrot, give me Charukian. Those two are, you know it. Some of my favorite fighters, Charukian and Gamrot. This fucking guy is very, very, very difficult to beat. It has to be some monster grappler that can choke him out or a gigantic puncher. Or Moises is neither of them. Like, he's not going to out-grapple Sandeni.
He's a good grappler. You got to admit.
Yeah, he is. But Sandeni is much, much, much better on the ground that people give him credit for. Like, he raped Bonfim. That was rape. That body triangle, the way he adjusted the choke, he forced the choke. That was the Pantoja school of choking. We are not negotiating the choke, like fucking defending hands and shit. No, I'm going to fucking break your jaw. You better tap. How can you not take this guy, Andrew?
I just did. How could I bet him at minus 155 in a harder fight?
There is always a way, Andrew. Have you heard about parlays? To get a better price? Or props? I mean, yeah.
What props? Like decision? Like he's not going to finish Moises.
Bro, I mean, do you want to bet?
Sure.
Okay, what price is Sandeni by finish? Let's get the book out.
Let's get it out.
I haven't bet this already. Plus 140 of DraftKings. What do you see around?
Yeah, plus 140.
Plus 150 at BetOnline. Okay, Andrew trying to sell me short here. plus 150.
I'll give you plus 150.
Okay. 1K?
Sure.
Okay. Deal. 1K. Sandeni. I'm going to track this actually. One unit Sandeni inside the distance plus 150.
All right.
Straight from Gompa's pocket.
Next up, co-main event. Manon Fiorot taking on Rose Namajunas. I know another one you'll have a strong opinion on. I personally think this fight's a pass.
What's wrong with this guy?
All right. Fiorot has never fought someone with a functional jab before. I think that's getting overlooked here. But she is bigger, and Rose is coming off that weird fight. She's coming off a layoff. Yeah, I think Fiorot deserved favorite. I think it's probably like a pretty boring decision. Fiorot could probably get on top. I don't know if she's going to go to it more than once or twice, but yeah, I think she's a justified favorite. I'm not looking to lay minus 200. I lean the over as well, but no bets for me. You're up.
Like, what's wrong with this guy? Guys, what's wrong with Andrew? Like, how is this a pass? Fiorot is going to fucking stomp her. And I don't even particularly like Fiorot. Like, unless you think Namajunas is going to grapple her dominantly, which she's not going to do because she's a fucking noodle moving up and she's so gay about everything related to her and everything. Like, what's wrong with Namajunas? What's wrong with Andrew? Like, what's wrong with everyone here? Fiorot is going to stomp her. Also, you need to stop this boxing gig or whatever. Andrew saw me tweet functional jab twice and then watched a Gervonta Davis fight. And now he cannot stop saying functional jab. Functional jab. What is a functional jab, Andrew?
Like an effective jab where like she's using actual technique. Like seriously, honest question, who is she fought that has a functional jab? Name one person.
Okay, I'll look at her record. But it's completely subjective, right? I can say someone has a functional jab and you can Caitlin Chukagian.
No.
The last one. No, Chukagian is anything but functional. At anything. Jennifer Maya has an actual jab. She's not long, but she has a jab. Yeah, I mean, Namajunas is small, Andrew.
I know. I said that. I said that in my great breakdown.
And fragile and has a lot of trauma. And Fiorot
Isn't it weird that she's younger?
Big and strong.
Doesn't it seem like she should be older than Fiorot?
Isn't she older than Fiorot?
No. She's 31.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that. This works in my favor. She's going to big sister here. Bro, she's going to beat her ass. Like, if Namajunas doesn't get on top, she's going to get mauled. Not like Tabata Ricci, but similar. I would like that. I mean, Namajunas cannot hurt anyone. She landed a kick on Weili Zhang, biggest fluke in UFC history. Then she robs her. I mean, horrible. Everybody's favorite robs Namajunas. The UFC protects her. But it's ending now here. Also, no French ever has lost to a Lithuanian at war. You know this girl is Lithuanian or something? Namajunas isn't Lithuanian?
Not really familiar with the...
I think she's from Lithuania. I mean, you need to put some more hours on studying the fight, Andrew. These are pivotal points. The French used to crash on the Lithuanians. Like Napoleon's old guard, they never ever lost to the Lithuanians. All these people, Baltic people, they suck. They just lost to the winter against the Russian. Fiorot by mauling. Namatraumas is death. Death! I think she's going to maul her. Latest stoppage, if it's good odds, it's probably going to be a bet. What are the odds? Fiorot by knockout plus 300? Oh. I love when the market forces me to bet what I want to bet. Fiorot late is a good price too. Like, you can get Fiorot rounds 2 or 3 at an average of like plus 700. How can I resist that, Andrew?
That's a good question. Very easily.
Yeah, I don't think. Like, do you think Namajunas is getting takedowns?
No.
Okay, if my second question was, is she going to keep her down? But if no takedowns, she's going to get lit up. I mean, Fiorot beat the shit of Mayra Bueno Silva. Come on the feet.
That's not anything to brag about.
Okay, like, can you even comprehend what Mayra Bueno Silva will do to Namajunas in a fight?
Lose?
No, shit, beat her ass like real bad. How? Like a man against a woman.
I just love getting you going on these rants. This is great.
If Namajunas fucking wins this fight, I'm going to suicide.
I don't even want to go to the next fight because I'm having so much fun. But Ciryl Gane versus Sergey Spivak. I know we've talked about this fight a few times. Both kind of back and forth. Obviously, you've got Ciryl Gane, a much better striker. Obviously, has a hole in his grappling game. Spivak, judo guy, gonna look to get on top. He's a mess on the feet. Pretty binary fight in the sense that if it stays on the feet, Gane's gonna beat his ass. Spivak gets takedowns. He's gonna beat his ass. You made a good point the other day. I think you said this, that the fight will be won in the clinch. Did you say that, or did I make that up?
I told you that in the DMs. I didn't tweet it. But yeah, if it was a good point, it was probably mine.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really where this fight is going to be won or lost for either guy. Spivak isn't a traditional wrestler. Like, he's not going to go out there, get in a wrestling stance and shoot singles and doubles. He's going to look for hip tosses, throws. If he gets on top of Gane, I expect him to go to work. But obviously, Gane got taken down by John Jones, who's a much better fighter than Sergey Spivak, and got choked in a minute. What can you take from that, really? Obviously, in Ngannou, you could say that it was unexpected. It was once he was tired, but I personally think that's getting taken down by Ngannou is a horrible look. He got held down. Ngannou obviously much more physical than Spivak, but Spivak more of a grappler than Ngannou. And yeah, it's just also another thing I'm curious about too that it's been going through my mind is how many chances is Spivak going to get? Because Gane's not a massive finisher on the feet, like where some of these heavyweights where if like he fought Ngannou, or like I'm trying to think of another example. He fought Ngannou, or he fought like a big hitter like Pavlovich. Like he probably only gets one chance to get like hit with a big shot. Whereas like Gane, he isn't too much of a finisher. So yeah, I've gone back and forth a lot on this fight. I'm very unconfidently picking Spivak. Just give me the guy with the takedown upside who's reliable to attempt a lot of takedowns against a French guy. But yeah, it's not a confident pick for me. I think it's a very intriguing fight, and one of those fights where you love to say that the winners might look minus 1,000 in hindsight.
Yeah, that's actually a lie. The French are pussies. Everyone. I know, this is like a very popular joke in America, right? Like the French cannot win a war.
People say the French surrender.
Yeah,
The joke.
because World War II, and yeah, they got like outflanked or whatever. They have been historically very good at war, actually. But yeah, it's funny to make fun of them. I agree. Yeah, I'm a big Spivak guy, but I don't know. This is a very tall order. Eileen Gunn, I think he's going to stop him. I mean, I think the fight is going to be won or lost in the clinch, and Gunn. I know people are pretending like John Jones fucking mauled him for 25 minutes or something. That was just a takedown and a 10-finger guillotine. Gunn did quite good against Ngannou, who is an incredible physical specimen, grappling wise. He was just outpowered in the takedowns. Spivak gets most of his grappling upside from clinch positions and trips, and Gunn is very good there. And he's very athletic, and he's a big guy. Spivak doesn't really go low. I mean, heavyweights really don't chain wrestle or go low chain. I think he went to the high crotch once against Derrick Lewis, if I remember correctly, like a single leg high crotch, maybe the last takedown. I also think Gunn can get up. Everybody gets up at least early from below Spivak. You know what I mean? And Gunn may only need one. Spivak hates to get hit or a big elbow in the clinch or something. I wouldn't be surprised if it looks like the Aspinall fight. I really, really like Spivak, but I'm not sure if he can actually do what he does to the upper echelon of the division. I would really like Spivak to become the champion. He's a funny guy. I think he's going to get knocked out here most likely. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to bet it, but yeah, I tend to believe Gane is going to be skilled and athletic enough to fight his fight and beat his ass. Jab, 1-2 elbows, manage the clinch, some kicks, some body kicks. Spivak doesn't take. I'm confident in saying that Spivak doesn't take a lot. You know what I mean? When the fight doesn't go his way, he becomes very Moldavian, like Romanov. When the fight is not going his way.
Well said. All right, cool. Good to be back. I wish I had more opinions on this card. I really just have the one. Next week sucks too. I don't even know what the hell we're going to talk about. We're going to have to talk about Adesanya wearing the dog collar next week.
But next week is an historical pay-per-view.
I always like hearing
Sean Strickland, UFC champion. What a time to be alive.
There he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
The most influential Australian guy since Steve Irwin.
Oh my god, that fight is a disaster.
I have
I did.
already been thinking about this. I watched like last night. I was looking at that line for 5 minutes like this.
Just
Yeah,
pass.
not moving. Just 5 minutes of me remembering the pleasure man losing back control against Petrino like this.
His wrestling is so
Tyson
bad.
Pedro is a fraud. Like
Look,
he's going to hit the pleasure man. So what? What? Nothing happens when you hit the pleasure man.
bro, that's actually, it's funny you say that because when the Pleasure Man fought Petrino, he ate like some bombs that would have knocked
That
out.
was
Like,
some of the biggest shots I have ever seen someone eat
I
without
had the
fall down.
under. I had the
It
under.
was clean on the chin, but the pleasure man has this like came from Barbie Joe. You know what I mean? He cannot be knocked out.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? The Luis Rubiales thing? This is
What?
all over the place. Like the Spanish women team won the World Cup. Of course. I mean, even at women's soccer, we are the best. So they won the World Cup, and when they were celebrating, this clown, this is a big mafia guy in Spain. Low-key, but he's a fucking mafia guy. He's the president of the federation or something. So the players were like handshaking everyone on the podium or whatever. And she grabbed one of the players, a female, and she kissed her in the mouth. But this is getting like, I think she asked for permission or something, because there's a video where you see he goes like, can I give you a kiss or something? And she says like, okay, or something. And then there is another video of her making fun of it, like it's all cool or whatever. But now it got like politicized. You know what I mean? Like politics got into it. Everybody got into it. Feminists, blah, blah. And the bubble kept getting bigger. And now it has exploded. It's like a huge scandal. The guy is an idiot, so fuck him. He deserved that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's not what they are trying to sell. I think there are a lot of there is a lot of bullshit, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. I cannot be cancelled. Like who do you think I am? I'm not Bill Gates or something. I cannot be cancelled. People act like we are famous all the time.
Far from it. Fuck who? I don't know, but I'm glad you follow it. Ian Gary, still undefeated.
I hate him. Do you see Junior Tafa the other day? I'm a big Junior Tafa guy now. They told him, is there some guy you don't like in the UFC? And he goes like, yeah, that Ian Machado guy, I think he's a fucking clown. With these words. Or something like that. Maybe not these words, but something like that. He's a fucking clown. I don't like him, or something like that. Big Junior Tafa guy here.
The funny thing is, Ian Gary would probably beat Junior Tafa in a fight.
Junior Tafa will beat his ass like easy, like a coconut. He will get his cranium and that will be the end of Pighead Ian Gary.
I think Gary would submit him or leg kick him to death.
Come on, man.
Bro, you see those leg kicks against Neil Magny? He had nothing for him.
I think it was more of a case of Neil Magny having nothing for anyone at this point than Ian Gary being the second coming of George St. Pierre. I bet Magny and 2 kicks in, I was like, okay, we are fucked. Magny is done. Like he's shot.
You're like, all right, time to go home. And then it lasted another 13 minutes.
It was always a possibility. It was so pathetic that Gary didn't finish the fight. Like Magny was out of the fight for 2 full rounds. It was ridiculous. How don't you finish that? He wants to be a star like that. Conor McGregor would have killed Magny and wear him as a coat at that point. Yeah, Gary is not fit mentally. We talk about this. I'm trying to save Ian Gary from his exploiters. I'm the good guy in this story.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, they are exploiting him. He's retarded. It's like if you got a kid with a disability and you showed him around in a circus. It's basically the same scenario, but fighting.
Interesting.
I mean, it's the truth. Let's talk about this. Okay, so This guy is now married to this woman, the presenter of Cage Warriors, who is like 20 years older than him, with a son from a previous relationship.
I really don't want
No,
to get into
hear
this.
me out. Hear me out. The father of the kid is his nutritionist. This is a sect or something, or a cult.
Oh, really?
What the fuck is going on? Yeah, bro, his nutritionist is the ex-husband of his wife.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
I'm glad we got it. I'm
come
glad
to
we
my
got
team. They're exploiting him. What the fuck is going on?
That's weird.
Is everyone fucking with everyone? We need a podcast episode just for this.
We should have all three of them.
Maybe someday.
We should have all three of them.
It's very awkward, bro. It's very awkward. I'm very concerned for Ian Garry. And if you remember when he signed for the UFC and he almost lost to Diabetes Kid, That was a bad first round. Everybody was saying, "Oh, he's ugly." I was saying he had potential. And coming from Cage Warriors, I thought he was going to be good. It's just now that I happen to hate him, so I have to root against him. But yeah, he has always had potential as a fighter. He's a good fighter. Yeah, Diabetes guy could have been a legend, man. If he got Ian Garry round one,
I bet
none of this should have happened. It's like Peter Jan kneeing Sterling in the head. Why everybody says your boy Alcaraz? Because he's Spanish or what? It's not really my guy.
Sounds pretty racist if you ask me.
What?
Sounds pretty racist if you ask me.
Your boy. Alcaraz is a very likable guy, but I'm not like a huge fan of him or anything. Yeah, I'm trying to save Ian Garry. The Ian Garry Netflix documentary is going to be sick. Like in 15 years, it looked like he was destined for superstardom. But Geoff Neal crossed that left hand and it was all rapidly over.
Did you watch the Manziel documentary?
Yeah.
That was good.
Johnny Football. Yeah, it was a great documentary, but I would have liked if the NFL part of his career should have been longer. It's like 10 minutes.
Dude.
Like when he's getting into the good drugs, that is like very short.
Yeah, agreed. I remember watching him in college. He was like amazing.
I mean, he was good. I have seen him before watching this. Like he was good. But it's college, you know.
Kevin Holland beats Ian Garry for sure. Come on, we got to draw the line somewhere. If we can't draw the line here, where can we?
You can do this to me. I think Belal will beat his ass.
Belal doesn't beat anyone's ass.
Bro, Belal's head is like this big. I have a big head. Belal's head, it's getting out of control. His head is bigger than his shoulders. He needs to relax with the human growth hormone. It's like, hello, I'm Belal. He looks like Mr. Potato at this point.
What else?
This guy said you look like Johnny Manziel. I can see it more than Michael Chandler. Yeah, I'm serious. You look more than like Johnny Manziel than like Michael Chandler.
I don't think I look like either of them, honestly.
I'm not saying you are a junkie or anything.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Give you 5 more years with me.
A few more losing cards than I might be.
I'm dead sure there's going to be an Ian Garry documentary, like some years from now, about it all went. You know what I mean? He thought he was the next Conor McGregor. The closing scene is going to be what I said on Twitter, for sure. Have you seen that video of him reading the letter of his mom?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he like finishes reading it, and then the cameraman goes, "Don't you think that's mean reading that?" And he goes like, "She wrote it," and that's black. That's the end of the documentary. Ian, do you think you can be the next Conor McGregor? Blah 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 blah. And when he finally crashes and the exploiters get exposed from exploiting him and everything, that's the closing scene. I'm a superstar director. Can you see it? We are just missing the foods.
That's all.
I wouldn't be that shocked. He's out of his mind.
That's fine.
Don't you think Neil Magny deserves a rematch?
Yeah. Except he gets to wear shin guards this time. Ian Gary versus Neil Magny. But
No,
Neil Magny
I'm not joking. No, I really don't think it's going to end well. I hope he does well. I mean, I'm not a bad person. I hope it goes really bad.
Let's be realistic here. Come on. Oh my god.
If he fights Geoff Neal, I'm going to be wearing Neal's mugshot t-shirt. Like, come on, Geoff, kill him. I hope
Neil Magny
they
beat
fight.
Geoff Neal. Remember that?
No, Geoff Neal knocks him out.
No.
Yeah. Like, he has a very bad chin, bro. Ian Gary has a bad chin.
He's 13-0. How does he have a bad chin?
Neal is a lefty. He sucks against lefties. He gets hit basically every fight when people go after him. And Neal is one of the best boxers in the division. Very sharp, very good tech. Like, Neal would put him in spots where he's going to hit him, and when he hits him, it's not like Shafkat, you know.
We'll see. All right, let's wrap this. Thank you guys for joining. We'll be back next week for the worst pay-per-view of the year. Let's win some bets on Saturday. Magic, sign us off. Get us out of here, pal. Champ.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope I can convince Andrew from now to Saturday to bet on Benoit Saint-Denis. I'll do my best. Yeah, I don't really have got. I think it's going to be a good betting card, and hopefully a good overall card. Like, if imagine winning money, Saint-Denis wins, continues the run to the title, and Namajunas suffers a horrible, horrendous, scary, frightening knockout in Paris. We will be there no matter what.
We'll be there no matter what. All right, see you, everyone.